I always love going on X every morning when the Boks are playing or they're about to play, and I go to the @Rassie Rugby handle, Hilux Erasmus, and when I see he's starting to get active, I start to get excited because there's nothing as cool as our national coach, Hoynet, on X.
Taking on World Rugby, mate. Love that.
First, he took on the dance floor. Last weekend off before the 5-game end of your tour, Lacquer, and he was having a Tate, and I love that. I love seeing that human side of Rassie. And then 6 hours ago today, I saw he said it just got tougher. We now have to beat them on the field and in the boardrooms. I loved it. For those who don't understand what he's saying, he's giving World Rugby, and in this sense, not just World Rugby, but any disciplinary, and applies to the URC's disciplinary. He's given them the 2-fingered salute before the Boks depart on a 5-test tour. And this is in relation to Jan-Hendrik Wessels, one of the big rising stars in Bulls and Springbok rugby, who has been given reportedly a 9-week ban for attacking another player's genitalia. However, there is no video evidence. All there is some guy going, hit you.
That's funny, mate.
Let's put that into context.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. I mean, during the game, the TMO tried his very, very hardest to find some video evidence. They must have spent the better part of 3 minutes watching clips and going back and forth. And they couldn't find it. I thought to myself, Jan-Hendrik Wessels is getting away with murder here. This is incredible, mate. You've pulled it off. You managed to pull off the feat of not being caught, not pulled something else off. And but there is no video evidence. So on the basis of that, the referee officiated the incident on what he saw, which was that the alleged victim punched Jan-Hendrik Wessels in the head, and so he red carded him. So if that's what we're asking referees to officiate, what you do see, in other words, we're quite happy to freeze this game that's going to a global audience, make it come to a complete standstill so that we can get it right based on video evidence. I'm not sure how you justify sanctioning a guy and suspending him for 9 weeks based on something that you think happened if you don't have clear-cut evidence. Why do we have TMOs and then just go with what the ref blows live? Isn't that what we're all saying? If you're not going to actually require evidence to charge somebody and find them guilty of something, then surely we don't need the TMO.
Unless, you have a dash cam. Maybe in Galway when they laid that new pitch, they have a field cam.
It could be, man.
Maybe there's a reverse angle from a bunker that we don't see.
Or that player has a groin cam.
Something like that.
Could be.
But I was just surprised that a finding could be made like that, given there is no out-and-out evidence. So it's one player's word over another player's word. And it reminds me of, and we've often seen the referees in a very poor position, especially from a maul. Guy goes over, he scored. 8 bodies on 1. Referee then doesn't say, I'm in a poor position. He says, on-field decision, no try, because he couldn't see. Convince me otherwise. So then there has to be a clear image of the ball.
Yeah.
Not the assumption that, come on, logic says 8 forwards on 1, they must score. The TMO is then compelled to say, I actually can't see a ball, so we must go with the on-field decision. Now, on-field decision was not Jan-Hendrik getting the long arm of the law.
Correct.
Got the long arm of something else.
Yeah.
And so what has changed?
Exactly. There was no video evidence of the balls. So I don't really know how they could have come to this decision. Maybe they haven't. I haven't seen an official press release around it. If Jan-Hendrik is guilty of this and they have the evidence, I think 9 weeks is too short. I think it should be much more. But if you don't have video evidence around it, I'm not really sure how you are justifying suspending somebody and what you think is likely to have happened in that situation.
Now, who's the guy that he apparently had a tip
I can't remember the name.
Who he plays for? Connacht.
Yeah, it's Connacht.
Okay, now Hendrik Cornell's report, that wonderful rugby scribe, the go-to man, has got his finger on the pulse with everything Springboks and South African rugby. He made the point that he was playing paddle last week and he got hit in the genitalia, being the nuts, and he went down for 5 minutes. And his sportsman-like mate said, we're going to give you time to recover. Having watched that game, he said that guy didn't go down for 5 seconds. He just retaliated with a punch. Now, could it be that he punched and then said, oh, he's done me, ref, Mr. Ref?
I mean, that's possible, right? That's why you need evidence. Isn't that how it works? I'm not sure how an Afrikaans guy can compare his toughness to the brawn and might of an Irish forward. But, I mean, yeah, his point is valid, 100%.
Yeah, and it's obviously annoyed Rassie Erasmus because this was going to be a pivotal tour in the development of Jan Hendrik Wessels. You know, he's come on leaps and bounds in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He is the modern-day Frick de Pre in terms of everything he offers, and an integral part of that Bok 23 because he can play hooker, he can play loose end, and with those ball skills, I mean, he can play in the backs as well. And now he's shown us he really does have ball skills.
Mate, incredible.
Do you know, this may interest you because you are linked to the Stormers, Neetan Forshare, when he copped that shocking suspension last season for a no-arms kind of headbutt tackle. Yeah, I think it was Ulster in Belfast. And it went from the referee being right in front of him,
Yeah,
you see nothing wrong with it in real time,
Yeah, he's on his knees.
to him getting 6 weeks. It's the same head of judiciary that took Nederland out, has taken Jan Hendrik Wessels out.
What?
Yeah, and so my thing's not so much aimed at the URC as an organization. I'm talking about the judiciary panels, the inconsistencies. Ad nauseum, we see it. We see Mapimpi got 5 weeks. Vincent Koch was also bulleted before that. I haven't seen anything about him. So how can the one guy get 5 weeks for something that's pretty similar to what his teammate did a few minutes before that?
Mate,
And again, was Mapimpi a 5-week offense?
But if a 100-kilogram athlete runs into a 75-kilogram athlete, the 75-kilogram athlete, by the sort of laws of physics, is going to come off second best. I'm not sure in that instance with Makazole that you can, and I mean, people could argue it. It's a debatable point. I just think Makazole Mapimpi is being punished because the guy he tackled is smaller than him. And I don't see those same kind of protections for the fatties. When a little guy steps a fatty and rounds him, makes him look like a fool, they don't call the try back and say, no, you had a physical advantage there. So you need to run slower when you're running at fat guys. They don't do that. So I don't understand this protection and hysteria around protecting little guys. I don't think in either of those 2 instances that there was menace in those tackles. And I also, again, I keep bringing this up, in all of these highly unsafe, dangerous instances that we are hysterical about and stopping the game for, the percentage of the victims in these instances who have to leave the game or miss any game time, I would say is less than 10%. So where is this high level of danger that we are officiating against?
But again, who determines the high level of
That's
danger?
my point.
These referees and match officials aren't medical
It's a
experts.
narrative, mate.
So Peter Steph de Toy gets picked up and dumped to the ground, and it's like, Mark did that. It's not a high level of danger. He picks me up and dumps me to the ground, banning for 12 weeks because it's a high level of danger because he planted my head into the ground. Who's making those decisions? So for me, it's a punch is a punch. If I punch you in the head, there's a consequence to it. If I co-tanner you in a tackle, there's a consequence to it. And if there's a head clash the way they've interpreted, send me. And it's a yellow, and they'll decide if it's a red. Was there malicious intent? The guy watching it in the bunker system has 20 minutes to decide, did you have enough time in 0.1 of seconds to kind of really bend your knees down and then have your jaw taken out by his knees that are coming up? But you'll see a head clash, rugby accent, great. Then you'll see a glance, send him. Then you'll see a co-tanner, now I'm happy there wasn't a wrap. Then you'll see one where there's absolute attempt to wrap and it's no attempt to wrap. I think that's what gets to everyone, is the inconsistency around the interpretation and the application of it. Because it is just so inconsistent.
So the point I'm trying to make is that if there is no baseline, if nobody has actually shown that there is significant risk, that the danger levels are nowhere near needing to be officiated to the level that they are, then all of it becomes redundant. And so that's the thing for me. We've all just accepted that some instances are high risk and others are not. There's high levels of danger. Well, let's quantify the danger. What is the danger? Because my suspicion is that probably more players have been injured by artificial pitches than by the kind of tackle that Makazole Mapimpi did over the weekend. So I just want to know, what are the numbers? I keep hearing about it, but let's define it.
Well, I don't have the numbers, but I'm expecting you to have the numbers. And someone who you do have the numbers on, because I'm just looking here at this lovely X feed of Rassie Erasmus, our mate. He's done 403 posts. And he has been quite quiet this season.
He has been quite quiet.
I've been very disappointed. Okay,
I
love
want to
it
see
when
more
Rassie-
video.
I love it when Rassie goes mad, okay? But he did answer someone here who said, come on, Rassie, tell us what's really going on with you and Evan Roos. And obviously I've been big about, and so have you, that we believe Evan Roos is good enough to play for the Springboks and to be on this tour.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, John Holdsworth, who starts off and he goes, Kwagga is a world-class player and individual, but he hasn't excelled in the number 8 position. With all due respect and no arrogance meant, he wouldn't be starting number 8 for any top-tier provincial international side. You, Rassie, have gotten this selection completely wrong.
Sure.
Thanks, John Holdsworth. Rassie, polite as always, says, obviously we're not always right, and I hear and understand what you say. Thanks for the way you discuss these things. I appreciate it, Ras. He further goes on to say, and this was an hour before that, when Bryce asked him, what happened between you? We need to clear the air. This isn't a normal situation. Like, Ras has to be accountable to everyone else, including us.
Yeah.
And he says, my friend, he's a world-class player. And when he's talking about Evan Roos, and he will play many test matches for the Boks. We just have really good 8s in Jasper and Kwagga. And in my opinion, they are still delivering at a higher level than Evan. So who to drop? One thing is a given. He's a test match player, and he will probably make it in 2027. So I don't know if that means he goes to the World Cup where he's not going to play against the All Blacks in 2026. He could have written him off for another season.
Preemptively. That's just
Or
makes
just
it,
managing his
yeah.
game time.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, I just go back to the one question. Yes, Jasper's there. Yes, Kwagga's there. Third cab off the rank. Jasper's out. Kwagga's out. Kobus Visa, you never played it. In you go.
Well, that's exactly my point, mate.
Jean-Luc, in you go. Sia, I like you at 8. In you go. Trokkie. Sorry, unless he passed his medical, in you go. Cam Honeycomb, I like seeing you there. In you go. So it's like he keeps on dangling the carrot that he's there. Outside of just saying, if I really have to pick him, I will. But obviously there's something that he doesn't like about the Oak in terms of the team dynamic or what he feels he brings to this thing. Because he's had 7 test matches, or 8 test matches in 4 years, averaged 36 minutes, and he's won the last 7 he's played in. Now, the only way you can judge Roos is what he does for the Stormers. And he'll be playing his 5,000th minute against Benetton this weekend since he started for the Stormers. His 68th match, his 69th match, his 59th match in the URC. His numbers are insane. His form has been brilliant this season. Now, at what level can he play if he's not playing? What are you judging him on if you're not giving him the opportunity? And you go back to when Rassie was first appointed. He was like, don't give me black player numbers. Give me black player minutes. That's how he started his database. And how can I assess a player if I don't give him enough game time? Now, Roos hasn't been given that game time. 36 minutes on average over 4 years, 8 tests, 7 of them the Boks have won. So what level, I keep going, what level is he being assessed on? And what level is Jasper and Kwagga in Japan being assessed on?
Great question, mate. Is they being assessed on what Rassie likes in a player, in what he brings to the plan, and probably how he fits into the team culture, and some longer term things, and probably some versatility. And I think there's lots and lots of factors. So for me, I would pick Evan Roos every day of the week. I think he's fantastic. But it's Rassie as the double world champion coach. It's his prerogative to pick whoever he wants to. What makes it interesting for me is the tap dancing and the tiptoeing around it. So like by coming out and saying he's a world-class player and you'll probably go to the next World Cup, you've created an expectation now. And the reality is that in the instances where you've had to show that that's what you really believe, you haven't really followed through because Jasper Wiese was suspended and missed 4 games. And in that time, you started Kobus Wiese once, you started Kwagga once, and you started Sia twice at 8. So he's not in the mix there. And that's at a time when Cam Honeycomb and Ulrich Lowe aren't available and are similar contenders for that jersey. So the proof's not really in the pudding there in that sense. Do I think Rassie may end up picking Roos and taking him to the next World Cup? For sure. Bottom line, and I've always said this about Rassie, he wants to win at all costs. It's not about loyalty and provincialism or anything else. So he's got his reasons, and I don't begrudge him that. As much as I would take Roos every time, Rassie doesn't need to be accountable to us, the media, whatever, on his selections. I just think it's weird that he doesn't just come out and say, for me, Evan Roos right now is the 6th best number 8 in the country in terms of the options that are available to me. And that may change. He may play his way up the pecking order, but right now, that's where I rank him. And then put it to bed. But by coming out and saying, this guy's a world-class player, which I fully agree with, and he's in the frame for the 2027 World Cup, you're saying that already. At a time where you've got a bunch of double world champions to kind of graciously exit from the squad because they are probably going to be on the wrong side of the age category by the time that World Cup. It's a weird response. So I'm surprised.
I'm glad that he's engaging with his audience and he's debating it. And as you say, it's his prerogative. He's the coach. He's won things. But from a rugby point of view, I'm just asking, what does he still have to do?
Yeah.
He makes 19 tackles a game. He must make 23. He scores 4 tries. He must score 5.
I don't think it can be rugby stuff. I don't think it can be on-field performance stuff for a number 8. In other words, the role that he plays for the Stormers as an 8, I think he's doing that to A+ ability. So obviously the way Rassie wants the 8 to play might have some nuances that are different to that. And so maybe he doesn't see Evan doing those things, or he doesn't rate the way Evan does some of that stuff because it's perhaps more peripheral to his role at the Stormers. I don't know. But I don't think there's any part of Rassie's is like, I don't think Evan Roos is a good ball carrier. I don't think he's physical. I don't think those are the issues. It's probably something more nuanced and more specific to what the Boks do.
Well, look, and again, no one is saying, and I said this the other day, no one is saying drop Sia, drop
Totally.
Kwagga.
Take 65 guys on the November.
Or just take one less back. Take one less back.
Mate.
Or take one less lock,
Yeah.
okay? Something like that.
Yeah.
But all I can say to Evan Roos, as I keep on saying, is keep on playing well, mate. Go out and give it horns against Benetton and keep on making your statement on the field.
Totally.
And I would like to think that ultimately, and I agree with you there, Zels, that Rassie would acknowledge that. And if the moment comes, he'd pick him. And if he succeeds,
No doubt.
it will be happy days for all of us. I would just like to have seen him on the end of this year too. He's one of the 10 standby players. So who knows what happens. What will be interesting is if there is an injury to Jasper or to Kwagga or to Sia, does Evan Roos get the call-up? Or do we see a midfielder coming from the EP Elephants? Because they don't really need 6 number 8s.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But we are going to obviously be chatting the whole of November about the Boks 5 test matches. They start against Japan at Wembley, and then they end the Principality Stadium against Wales on the 29th of November. It's going to be a riveting month, better than any World Cup month, because it's just strength against strength. All the teams are in action. We got Australia, we got New Zealand, South Africa in the north, got Argentina there. You got every team in that top 10, top 12 will be playing games. So it's going to be a great month of test rugby. And when the Boks don't play, I think I go into kind of withdrawal symptoms. Then what helps when they're not playing is to see that they're everywhere. And we've done some wonderful stuff with Pick and Pay ASAP, one of the official sponsors of the Springboks, one of the official partners. And they've brought out something that I believe is so long overdue with the Springboks. They brought out the collector box. Collect them all. And before Zels and I start talking about it, these passionate kids will tell you all about it.
Cut. Ooh. Next. Jesse Creel. Big finish now. What? Let's play.
Get your free pack of 3 Springbok collector cards every time you spend 500 or more, only at Pick and Pay.
Rassie wants to know who made your team. Tell him he'll know when I know. Okay.
All right, Zelzy. We have the collector box. And I go back to when I was a kid, which wasn't too long ago, and collecting cards is something that I just couldn't understand why it's not there anymore. Kids love collecting cards of their favorite Springboks, their favorite heroes, and now they've got a month in which to collect 31 cards. And of those 31 cards, 29 are players. Rassie Erasmus is there. And then the golden
I
ticket.
love that, mate.
The bonus card. The Willy Wonka.
The golden Rassie card. I love that.
Add your gold Rassie Erasmus card to your collector box digital album and go into the draw to stand a chance to win 2 tickets to Cape Town Sevens on the 6th of December, signed Springbok jersey, a change room tour during 2026. And 2026 is 3 test matches against the All Blacks. So it doesn't get bigger than that.
Yeah.
What I love about it also, there's trade, swap, and exchange to complete your collection. And if you go to all the Pick and Pay social media channels and their media channels, you'll see the special days to trade and swap the collectibles. We were fortunate enough. I got my little delivery yesterday. Pick and Pay ASAP delivered. If you spend more than $500, you get these buggers. You get these buggers.
You
on
shared
the
one
house.
with me, matey. I'm frothing
The
you.
cool thing is you can go into store as well and get it there. It's not just deliverable, but the Springbok Rugby Cards World Champions 1995, 2007, 2019, 2000.
I love that.
There are 3 cards, mate. I'm going to open mine. Open yours. I can just
You don't want to open yours first. Let's do the unveil. Unbox it.
Just wait, guys. Just wait. Oh, I'm getting all
Who are you
nervous here.
hoping
Whoa! I have got. You won't believe it.
You're joking. I don't believe it.
Oh, I can't believe
I
it.
don't believe
I got the
it.
gold card.
Woo! Let's go. We're going to the Sevens,
First
baby.
edition. I can't believe Whoa.
serious?
Can you believe this?
Unreal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be giving this away to someone very lucky. Wow. I can't believe this. I got Kane and Moody and Mr. Fussy, Apaleli Fussy. I just can't believe I just got the golden card. You can scan it at the back.
That's amazing, man.
Oh. Wow.
This is going to be an anticlimax now, but let me go for it.
Jeez, mate.
I'm hoping for a Malcolm Marks.
Is that the golden card? Let me
Maybe,
just see. I don't
Grant
get
Williams,
excited.
mate.
Yes, it is.
It is. That's the golden
That's
card,
the
mate.
bonus card.
Yeah.
Rassie Erasmus, first edition, Springbok coach, bonus card.
You ready?
Yo, I can take him to timeout.
Mate, I've never seen you this excited for Sevens in my life.
Woo!
Are you ready?
Yep.
That's my 3 cards, mate.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Cindy Crawford.
I like it.
Malcolm Marks.
Oh, beautiful.
Can you believe it, mate?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay. Kane and Moody.
Kane and Moody.
We're stockpiling Canans.
Okay.
Number 3, Apaleli Fussy, mate.
Great.
Okay, we've got 2 of those.
Okay, I do have
Your
an extra
second
pack because I had 3. Oh, this is exciting, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Woo!
I love it. I love it.
Oh, I've got a Malcolm Marks here.
There we go, babe.
I got a Kane and Moody,
Yep. Don't say fussy.
and I got a Fussy. So I got a few swaps going on.
Yeah. We can collect those.
But this
mate.
is my golden ticket
don't
for
be-
the whole of November,
That is
baby.
genius, mate.
Oh, discover home. Scan the QR code to explore. Mwah. Pick and pay.
This guy doesn't get excited about stuff. That's amazing.
The collector box. I just can't actually believe this.
Yeah,
I feel
well
like
done,
I've won
mate,
the-
well
I
done.
feel like I've won the rugby's lotto.
You've done
I
very
have
well,
the
mate.
Rassie Erasmus gold ticket. Oh,
You're not going to the chocolate factory, though.
Maybe I'm Willy Wonka. Wow, that is just. I'm so happy.
Good.
Wow, to be a kid again, I just felt my inner boy come
Exactly.
out there and
Exactly.
just go mad.
Brilliant.
What a cool initiative! It runs the whole of November, and as a older guy whose rugby kid will never die inside him, I just want to say thanks to the box and Pick and Pay for the collector box.
Yes.
It's going to be the coolest campaign that they've produced. But what a start, eh? I feel like Franz Steyn when he won the World Cup at his first go. What's the big deal? Fuss about? How? I just can't get it.
I can't get over how excited you are about it. That's beautiful.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
All
Mate.
right.
I love it.
Okay. The time to talk about things other than the box. Ek voel baie gelukkig selfs. En nie Roos die voet. That is just the most amazing thing. We do have the Vodacom URC, 4 South African teams in action again. We were confident that it could be 4 from 4 last weekend. Por favor. We got 3 from 4, and the one that we thought was a banker, the Sharks, let us down.
Oh.
They lost against Ulster, a very good Ulster side. And they lost in Durban, not Belfast, which really irked me. John Plumtree has said he's taken a hard look at himself, and he is still there. His name is John Plumtree.
Yeah, no, look, I think for the South African teams, we're sort of finishing the first phase of this competition now, and it'll be like a little mini stock take on the progress and where there's opportunities to improve. For the Sharks, there's a lot. There's a lot. The sort of only way up. The only way is up for them now. And hopefully it begins this week with Scarlets. They've chosen a nice team. They've got Jordan Hendricks at the back. And it's another shot for Siya Masuku to put his best foot forward and produce some good rugby. The pack, I think, has got 7 box in the forward pack, and the entire tight 5 all box. So I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. And hopefully a run out against Scarlets brings the best out of them. And they've got a power pack bench as well. I think Grant Williams is in the mix there too. So, no, not Grant Hendricks. Jaden Hendricks is on the bench for the Sharks.
Your favorite.
My favorite, mate. So, yeah, I think the Sharks, it has been a wake-up call. They'll be disappointed with it, but it's probably sharpened their focus. And if that's applied properly, they can bounce back in a big way. And it's all about momentum in rugby. So a big win against Scarlets puts them back in the saddle and lets them sign off to this first phase with some confidence. So let's hope that happens.
Well, they played Scarlets at a similar kind of juncture in terms of their lack of confidence last season. They won 12-3. It was a snorathon in Durban.
Wins a win, mate.
Conditions. A 9-3 right till the end. Fussy kicked a penalty, 12-3 against a Scarlet side that everyone thought should be whipped. Now, the fun factor there is it's John Plumtree's son, Tame Plumtree, plays for the Scarlets. So
Yeah.
it's dad against son again. So there will be a little bit of needle there in the best possible way. But you have to think that the Sharks get this one over the line.
They
Get
will.
their first one of the season.
They will.
And go into the break with that comfort that they have won a home game and against one of the struggling teams in the competition.
Yeah.
It's one thing to lose to an Ulster that may just get better.
Yep.
And you think when you look back on the season, I can live with that defeat. But you can't be losing to teams that are going to end lower than you.
Yeah.
And the Scarlets, as crazy as it sounds, and the Dragons at the moment, despite the Sharks' awful league position, should end below them. So,
On that point, Leinster lost to a team called Munster last week. Will Munster finish below them?
below them. I'm not talking about top 4. I'm talking about
I'm just
bottom
asking
4.
you, mate.
Technically, you make a good point, Zels. And the answer is no. Munster will end ahead of them.
No, that's what I think. That's exactly what I think. I think Munster, this is them overtaking Leinster, sort of taking the lead in Ireland.
Imagine the last 3 weeks of the URC and Leinster are playing for a top 8.
That'd be glorious.
Knowing they've got to come to Loftus.
Speaking of which, mate, and look, maybe I just missed him, but when last did you see Jacques Nienaber in the Leinster sort of frame? Like, when last do you see a game and you see Jacques Nienaber in the game?
He likes to keep a low profile.
But
there.
how low is it, mate? Because he's not in the coaching box as far as I can tell, and he's not on the sideline. So where is he?
I see Leo Cullen more than I ever saw Christian Cullen when he was on the field.
Yeah. I haven't seen him. I'm asking, have you seen him?
Well, he could be a passport controller. I don't know.
True.
No. Look, he's there, understated. Look, maybe he doesn't want to show his face. Have you seen the defensive record?
Yeah.
When last have
Shots
Leinster
fired.
shipped so many points? 34 unanswered against the Stormers. Okay. Then 37 against the Bulls. 31 unanswered against Munster. They scored first, and the 6th minute, they scored in the 81st minute. 31 unanswered points against the Munster team. They played with dog. I mean, did you see those stats from that game? The tackles that Munster made. 220 tackles to Leinster's 97.
Correct.
And of those 97, I think they missed about 25. That's not a Jock Nienhaber type
No.
opening salvo to a season.
Yep.
But as South Africans, donkey Jacques, and we'll take it.
Yeah.
So your boys, they obviously playing in Benetton, 4 from 4 so far. Be great if they get 4 from 5, 5 from 5. Benetton, a completely different side when they play at home
Very much so.
to the side that plays away from home. They 43-0 against Edinburgh. I was quite shocked by that result. Edinburgh is a good side.
Very.
They nearly took Munster in Cork 2019, but 43-0. And, they were playing 5-1, and I thought that's a good tickle to have on these guys. I think they could surprise them because they've come to South Africa, played well in Durban, played well at Loftus, played well at Ellis Park, never quite done it in Cape Town. Just like the Stormers had never quite done it over there.
Yeah.
So an interesting matchup. I mean, how do you rate them, Benetton?
Yeah, Benetton's very, very tricky customers in Treviso. Remember the whole Rainbow Cup thing with the Bulls in the final, and we spoke about that. We were dumbfounded when that happened. We couldn't believe the sort of conviction that Benetton played with. They are very, very difficult to beat over there, and maybe they do put something in the water. I don't know, but they are, in general, they are a tricky team to play. They're quite. They manage their risk very, very well, and they give you nothing. So they definitely play the sort of the long game. They're not looking for quick wins. They play a very sort of measured, calculated game. So they are very difficult to beat there, and you really got to keep your eye on the momentum swings in those games to stay on top of them and get the results. So the Stormers have got their work cut out for them. It would be a hell of a way to sign off the first 5 rounds with your first victory against Benetton in Treviso. So here's hoping.
But also, you talk about that Rainbow Cup when we just come back out of COVID. Well, it was kind of just out of COVID, and we played the Rainbow Cup, and the Bulls went and played Benetton. And we were like, Benetton, come on, they don't win a game in Pro League. And they completely smashed the Bulls with 6 South Africans in their team, led by a number 9 called Devon Hager, who had an absolute cracker back then, I think at the age of 34. Devies went on to play 98 games for Benetton. He just went past his 100th game for the Stormers. And how cool to have the ex-Benetton captain in your match 23. How cool to have a guy who's fluent in Italian, who can tell you what they're going to call in the lineouts. And that is a big advantage in terms of game management, to have that kind of experience and then to have a Kobus Reinach back in the mix to make his debut. That's just worth watching the game alone, is to see Devies not knowing which side to put the ball in and Kobus Reinach making his long-awaited Stormers debut.
Yeah, I mean, geez, you've got 2 quality scrum halves there. Obviously, the one guy played for the Boks. The other guy's been a stalwart at the Stormers for a very, very long time before going to Italy, and a top man. And Devies is coming towards the end of his pro career, you would think. He's sort of in the twilight of it. Probably played more games than he's got games left in it. I think it's fair to say that. Hell of a experienced, and particularly knows Benetton and Treviso, and probably the sort of mentality of Benetton, right? So I'm sure he would have been a big asset this week. And for his sake, I hope he has a cracker of a game, because there's nothing like going up against your old team, I suppose. It's going to make for a hell of a game. And then obviously Kobus Reinach, I think he adds immense value to what the Stormers are trying to do. And obviously a Springbok World Cup winner. And I think he's a guy who will definitely add huge value in the sort of halfbacks room in terms of game management and some of the things that go with that. So it's a good space to be in. The Stormers are unbeaten and being reinforced. So great stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been an intense 5 weeks for you. Your first stint, crunching all that data with the Stormers. There must be a little bit of a breather for you to think post-Saturday, there's not an immediate game the next Saturday, and you're not spending 44 hours out of a possible 44 in front of a screen.
Yeah.
So it will be the 5th game, 3 on the trot on tour, a big Northern Hemisphere tour out the way. Regardless of result, Stormers very well positioned going into the November international break, then into the Investec Champions Cup. I know there's that one game at tough game, Munster at Thorman Park, 29th of November. And then it's really, the focus is getting the Investec Champions Cup league stage off to a good start. Then obviously the 2 local derbies, the Lions and then the Bulls the 3rd of January. The Bulls in Cape Town on the 3rd of January. Oof. There's no 5-day cricket test for the first time in how long at Newlands. So there's no excuses. That's going to be a sellout game as well. And then the Bulls. They 3 from 4 at the moment. They got a tough one against Glasgow. A tough team to beat, but they have done it before. 26-19 in April. They beat them in Glasgow. Your thoughts on their team that they've picked, given the movements they've had and the big changes that they've made? Quite surprised, though, at the strength of the squad they could still put out.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls, that squad of theirs, when everybody's fit and healthy, it's going to be a hell of a hard to pick your players because they've got talent across the board. So Uckers is still on a bit of a recovery salvage operation there in terms of finding his feet with these new players and stuff. But, I mean, if you look at the match day squad that they've got there, it's just loaded with talent. We spoke about Sebastian de Klerk. He's now on the standby list for the Boks. You've got Safis and David Creel in the midfield and the experience of Willie Leroux at the back. Stravino Jacobs comes in at number 11. And then Keegan Johannes is a guy that doesn't get the credit he deserves because that guy's gone from being a backup scrum off at the bottom of the depth chart at the Bulls to being thrust into a starting role by Jake at fly half. And he didn't just swim, he's been skipping across the top of the water. He's done a fantastic job. Without too much fanfare. So tip of the hat to him. He links up with Ambrose Papier this week, or his Papier, as they say in Ireland.
Say that again.
Yeah, they say Ambrose Papier.
I like that.
Yeah,
Papier.
Yeah, it is cool.
How would they say that in French?
I don't know, mate. Papier.
Yeah. How do they say that in Pretoria? Papier.
Papier tearing it up.
And in the Southern Suburbs, they just call him Ambrose Paper.
But I mean, you look at the makeup of the team, it's starting to look a little bit like a Johan Ackerman's side. When, you got Jandre Rudolph at number 8 and Marcel Coetzee at open side. That's 2 guys that play to the ball, that can also ball carry. That really does fit the kind of Lions team that Ackerman built. And, you've got some stalwarts across the park there in terms of Ruan Okia and Kobus Visa powering that the tight 5 and Gerard Steenekamp at loose head. So some new names on the bench. Curtly Orange is back from his injury, so keen to see what value he adds in the second half. But that Bull squad is proper, and it is a tough job going to go win at Glasgow, but there's some guys there that Glasgow wouldn't know too well. And if the Bulls put their head down and are able to get some sort of physical supremacy over Glasgow, it could be a good trip for them.
But you look at Kobus Visa, big game for him. We spoke. Came in with a lot of fanfare. Came off the bench against Italy. His foot got sent off at the same time, so they haven't really played together. Started that one match at 8 against Georgia. Physically, everyone thought he did quite well there. He'd never played there before. It's been out of the Bok mix.
Yep.
Needs a big game just to remind Rassie and the forward specialist he's still around. I love to see Ruan Nokia back, captaining the side. Marcel Coetzee, the old warhorse, he's back there. But I've been really impressed with Reinhard Ludwig. What do you make of him?
Yeah, I see. Ackerman came out and said this guy's got massive leadership value. I haven't seen enough of him. I mean, he's played in patches and flashes, and he's looked good. He's just one of those tweeners for me. I'm not sure. Does he fit into lock? Does he fit into blindside flank? Is he athletic enough for number 8? But he's just one of a long line of great loose forwards up there in Pretoria. And I'm sure he's going to fit in like a hand in a glove there. And the fact that he's already caught Ackerman's eye and he's been elevated in the sort of leadership role, I think is a massive tip of the hat to him. So let's see how he runs with it.
And then we talk Curtly Orange is back. Great to see him in the 23. Quality player. Spoiled for choice. We've had Ethan Hooker come on the scene internationally, do what we thought he would do, but a different type of player. Curtly more in the Jason Colby mold, but just the right time for him to get a run before the end of the season tour.
Yeah. I mean, Curtly's a guy where Ethan's got that power and speed. I suppose Curtly's a guy who's just got great instincts. Like, he always seems to be almost like Brayton in a way, always in the right place at the right time. And you can't really coach that. I mean, that's a game sense thing, I suppose, or maybe it's just good luck. I don't know. But Curtly always seems to pop up at just the right time in the right space. And then he's got the speed to make the opposition hurt. So great to see him back in the mix, and hopefully he gets a tailwind before the November series, the November tour, and he's back in Bok contention.
All right. Now, we've spoken about the Stormers as we always do. We've spoken about the Bulls as we always do. We've critiqued the Sharks as I always do. The Lions, do we talk about them?
Let's talk about the Lions. They're playing Ulster. This is a huge, huge opportunity for them to build on last week's win against Scarlets, to take another step forward. This Ulster team have shaken a few people's cages. They're proper. They've got to come up to the high felt now. And let's see if the Lions can, throw a spanner in the works. If they can spoke their tires and flip them off the bicycle kind of thing, that'd be fantastic for the South African cause and obviously fantastic for the Lions. And I think they're obviously all under pressure there. The people are not coming to watch them play. A win against Ulster, I think, would reset them and sort of put them back on track, which is exactly what we want to see. So hopefully the Lions can do it against Ulster.
The Lulup, can we see it?
I don't know.
Can we see it?
Will we?
Can we see a bit of Robbie Vessel's oomph?
Maybe that's what they need.
It's track.
If Robbie Vessels was there for the halftime show, maybe you get 10,000 people.
20,000 people there.
Yeah.
Put your ballers in here! En hierdie goue kaartjie.
Maybe Jan Hendrik Wessels needs...
Die Lulup.
Is it a Wessels thing? I don't know.
Jan Hendrik Wessels. We backing you, buddy.
100%, bud.
Backing you.
100%.
They done you a dirty.
Yep.
In Galway, they did you a dirty, mate.
Apparently, ball in play was only 7 minutes in that game.
Yeah. Or apparently like
10 seconds.
73 minutes. So like stuck around. You balls, please. All right. Outside of the URC, obviously there's another massive game in South Africa on Sunday. It is Francie Steyn's Toyota Cheetahs up against Black Lion from Georgia. It's effectively the national team of Georgia. Okay, They love coming to South Africa. The Cheetahs lost the first game 39-38. They missed a conversion to win it. Black Lion got 250,000 Rand for that game. 250,000 Rand again for the winner of this game. It's just good to see the Cheetahs getting some rugby before they take on the EPCR Challenge in December. Get out there, support them, support Francie and the boys. I think they're going to hit back. I think they're going to win it. And a great day and a great initiative always with Toyota, one of the most loyal sponsors to a rugby team in South Africa. They're there with the Cheetahs through Super Rugby, through Pro Rugby.
Beautiful.
Through EPCR Rugby, through a team that has to base itself in Amsterdam.
That's loyalty,
games.
eh? That is
loyalty. And I do believe if you drive a Toyota, you get free parking.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that on the
that's
screen.
cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also know that this guy, he comes out of that. He comes out of that Cheetahs playing and coaching realms of
I love it.
excellence. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a lacquer weekend of rugby for South African teams as we wind down and prepare for those 5 test matches. If you want to know who I'm picking, go to africapicks.com. I've done another 8-match accumulator in the URC. It's just a win-loss. I got 6 from 8 last week. The Sharks let me down and Munster stunned me. I've also given you a little flutter on top 14 and then on the English Prem. And just to remind you again, on the money, I had Leicester to beat Bath and end the unbeaten run, and you would have got $3 to the Rand if you had listened to me. So go over to africapicks.com and see what I've said for this weekend. And if you are enjoying the rugby this weekend, tune in to Zels while he's crunching numbers about the Stormers. And know one thing about old Zelzy, my good mate, is that he likes to drink, okay? He likes to drink and he likes to win. Am I right in saying that?
I mean, what? Yes.
He likes to drink Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid soft drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Drink and no gas.
Oros.
Yeah. But our show sponsor, Castle Lager, have been brilliant.
Yeah.
Amazing for us. And obviously synonymous with everything that is South African sport, be it the rugby, the Proteas,
Yeah.
the cricketers, the art of craft. They've been around for 130 years. Taste it to the test of time. And they've got the coolest campaign going as well. There's 6 of these collector's item cans.
Okay.
And you stand a chance to win 130,000 Rand if you're the first. If you're the first to actually collect them. So if you go on to keo.co.za, you go on to SA Rugby Magazine, you go onto our social channels, it will take you through to Castle 130 where you can enter. And you know what? The luck that I've had today The luck that I've had today
It's bouncing.
I just don't want to go on there. And I would hate to be the first again. People will think that it's rigged, but they're also the URC's official fans beer. So whatever happens this weekend, be safe. I know you've got a big wedding, Zels, your nephew. Shout out to him. You are the best, man. Give that speech. Give it well. Don't use Chat GPT.
The MC.
Speak from the heart, okay?
I'll try.
It's the MC. And just remember, don't talk about past relationships, only the new, and enjoy it, and really enjoy it with a cold castle in your hand. And just love the fact that we've done well in the URC, guys, as South African teams, that the Lions got a win last week. That monkey's off their back. The Sharks will get a win this weekend. And then it's all bokke for the whole of November.